Okay, so now I'm going to just go over some other uh, techniques that I went over in class. First of all, just some basic uses of keyframes once you have them. So I have this object I'm going to bring in here. It's this Sputnik thingamabob. And I'm going to create a motion path for it first off. So let's just say I'm going to click on the layer, hit the letter P for position, create a keyframe. I'm going to move it 5 seconds in, and at that point I want it to go to here. Along the way, I want to change it up a little bit. So I'm going to select the pen tool and make a dot. And just like we did with the Photoshop pen tool, you can make some additional dots on here. And maybe I'll put this up here. Alright, and so now our Sputnik thing travels from there to there. And if you recall, I'm going to turn on Layer, Transform, Auto Orient, Along Path. Say OK. And now I'm going to click on the layer and hit R for rotation. And I want to rotate it along the path so that as it travels, I want it to travel that way. Now it's not behaving well yet. So let's go ahead and fix that a little bit. Let's rotate it a little bit, make sure we're at the very beginning. Let's see if that helps. Not yet. There we go. Okay, so that's good. So here's what it looks like. Now, if I want to delete a keyframe, I can just select the keyframe. See, it's blue, and then I can hit the delete button. If I want to speed it up, I can just move the keyframes around so that if they're closer together, I'm going to marquee select these three and bring them closer together. So now the whole running time is about 2.5 seconds. So let's go ahead and see how fast it moves now. So now it moves a lot quicker. If I want to nudge one keyframe, I select that keyframe and I hold Option, arrows, and you can see this keyframe here moves a little bit, one frame at a time. Alright, so that's use of motion path. Now the other thing I wanted to show you is the motion sketch. Okay, so let's go ahead and create, actually I'm just going to delete these keyframes, and if I go underneath Window, Motion Sketch, that opens up the motion sketch here. I select the object that I want to use, and then I just say Start Capture. And now you can go ahead and just move the thing around. Notice that this was moving ahead. Look at all the keyframes that it made. So now it will remember all the movement that I created there. And there's a lot of keyframes. So let's zoom out on that. So you'll see that there's a ton of keyframes that it made for me. So if I want to select all these keyframes, and right now they're all selected, there's another tool in here called the smoother. So if I go to the smoother, with that selected, this position selected, see all the keyframes are blue, I hit apply. And what that does is it tries to smooth out the angles, and it tries to get rid of unnecessary keyframes. In some cases it might actually give you keyframes if it needs to smooth out the motion. You may not be able to see this here, but this is very obvious when you have some really kind of clunky sort of motion going on here. So that's the motion sketch and the smoother.